Hello, fellow cooks. Welcome back to episode 2, season 3, Blue Collar Cooking. And I'm Larry, and I'm still your host. First, let me apologize for that last video. The citrus marinade, believe me, it is going to taste amazing. However, the quality of that video, I owe you an apology. You deserve better than that. My fans, my fellow cooks, you will get better than that. Today, I will prove it to you. I'm going to make a lamb gyro with a coleslaw with tzatziki sauce in it. We're going to marinate the lamb first. We're going to put it all together. We're going to put a hot chipotle over the top of it at the end, a hot chipotle mayonnaise. And lastly, we're going to make a corn salsa with bacon that's going to knock your socks off. So like we always say, from the pan to your belly in 30 minutes or less, let's get cooking. Okay, like I promised you folks, here comes the marinade. First thing I want to do is get the marinade on the lamb. I got basic lamb that we use for a lamb stew. Got it at the butcher. And what you're going to do is you're going to do a marinade. Beautiful lamb. And this is going to go inside of the gyros. Unlike what they put out in the street when they slice them up, we're going to do chunks similar to a gyro taco with lamb. So let's start with the basics, right? And what I've noticed in my travels lately is that when you do an American or Italian or Mediterranean, there's 3 basic things that come into play when it comes to marinades or flavors. So for anything American, by the way, Lo Bianco Vineyards, Merlot, 2015, phenomenal. Always good with lamb, gives a nice flavor. So we have olive oil and we have some red wine in there. So when you come up with American or Mediterranean, you're going to use your lemon, you're going to use your parsley, and you're going to use your yellowish onion. When it comes to Mexican or Spanish cuisine, you're going to use your red onion, you're going to use your limes, and you're going to use cilantro. So these are the 3 basics to any marinade as you go along. Can't go wrong if you do the basics and then add as you go. So here we have our grater. Gonna get the lemon in there once again. Like I said, I learned some new tricks this season. This is one of them. The lemon zest. It makes an amazing difference in your sauces. Even in a simple vinaigrette, you put this in with some balsamic and some olive oil, all of a sudden you have a lemon vinaigrette. Never thought you could do it, did you? Neither did I. Okay, there's that. We have some garlic now we're gonna put in here. This we're gonna chop up a little bit because the lamb is slightly gamier than the chicken is. So you want it to be a little chopped so that it breaks down and gets into the meat. So we're just going to put a couple of chops in a few pieces. These are relatively small in size. We're going back for our lemon, folks. We're going to go with the lemon once again. All right, see what happens when you go cheap? There we go. Let's put that right into the marinade bag so it's there. Let's go with the second one. There we go. It's 1 whole lemon. Again, put the rinds in here. Now, we're going to use mint. Something new I learned this season. The mint is relatively good for lamb. You have mint jelly, mint flavoring. Mint mojitos, yes, my wife, but the mint will work with the lamb, trust me. We're going to throw that in at the end. We have some honey. It's a staple of a lot of the sauces. And put that in there. Ground cumin. Definitely going to use some cumin for a little bit of heat in there. Sprinkle a little bit in and don't be afraid. And that's pretty much it. There's not a lot of flavors in this. Not a lot of differences, but an amazing amount when it comes to it. Put a little more olive oil in there for some browning when we grill it. Now the other thing I have a surprise for you later on, what we've been cooking with lately. I'm using and mastering cast iron skillet, folks. Let me tell you, you want to talk about something coming out with a nice crispy brown on the outside? That is the definition of nice, folks. Okay, here we go. Let's take our lamb. Let's put it into our bag. Okay, take our marinade, put that in there. Let's take our fresh mint, put that in there. Zip it once again, some air out of there. Toss it around a little bit. You can let this sit overnight. I would say 3 hours at a minimum to really get some of the flavors in here. But you'll see when we put it on the cast iron later on, it's gonna crisp up nicely. Let's get it around in there a little bit, shake it around, get the flavors all around, upside down. Here's your first step, folks. Right now, here's the marinade. Do this first, put it to the side, keep it in the fridge, let it marinate. Coming up next, the corn salsa. Okay, so now for the corn salsa. So, first things first, we have our apple smoked with bacon. We're gonna chop it up, put it in a frying pan, and get it cooking. Second thing is we need the corn. Now you're gonna wonder, fresh corn, how do you get it off? How does it look like that? Here's what you do. First things first, you take it, you square off one end on the bottom like that. Take it here, you put it on your bowl, very simply. Come down the sides, folks. Everything stays in. That's how we're gonna do it. Right across, straight down the sides. And this is our corn for the salsa. So we're gonna get through this. Once we get this done, corn's all off the cob. You can always save the cobs and make a soup out of it if you want later on. So now we have them all off. Put this to the side. You go in, you take out your bowl, and there's your corn for your corn salsa, folks. Right off, cooks, right off the cob. Be right back with the rest of the ingredients. Okay, folks, a couple of new things. Now we got the bacon going. We gotta get some red onion in there. Red onion is the choice for this particular salsa, okay? Remember what I told you, red, a little Spanish flair to it, right? I'm gonna peel this, get the outer shell off, get rid of that. Cut it in half. Slice them like this. I'm gonna slice it 3 more times. Right across the top. Once more in the middle. And then down on the side. Just like this. Look at that. Pre-diced onions, folks. One more chop across like that. I'm gonna throw that in right on top of the bacon. Now all of this is gonna cook in the bacon fat. It's gonna come out really sweet. Now red onion has a tendency to get very sweet when it cooks, especially when you're frying it. That's why I like it in this corn salsa. You got the smoke and the salt from the bacon, the sweetness from the onion, the tang from the corn. We're gonna throw in a little Dijon mustard as well later on, and some lemon. And once you see the final result, when you make this yourself, folks, cooks, let me tell you something. Your family's never gonna eat out again. They're gonna be calling you chef when you're done with this one. We get one more on the onion. Rest of that red, get it in there. A couple additional slices to make sure it's diced up nicely. Throw it in there. And we're good for part 2 of the corn salsa. Stay tuned. Okay, so now we have our bacon and our red onion cooking, sizzled up nicely, you can see. Now we're gonna move along. Some red wine vinegar. Nice sweetness, put it in there. And we're gonna take our corn, put that in there, move that around. Just mix it around nice. Get all done up in there. This corn is fresh right off the stalk. See how it absorbs all that oil that was in there? All the flavors from the bacon, the balsamic. Take a little more balsamic, throw it in there. You want to keep this moist at all times, folks. Gonna put a little honey on top of this. Nice portion. Don't be shameful. That's why they put it in big jars. We're gonna get a full lemon in there. The juice of a full lemon. This time you should throw out the skins. Give that a stir. Now don't forget, I have this on high right now. Once we get everything in here, we're gonna put it on low to medium. We're going to cover it. We're going to let it all cook and infuse itself. The important thing first is to get the onions and the bacon in there together, let them caramelize together, the sweet and the salt. Then you want to get your corn in there. You want to add your additional flavors. The lemon gives it a nice little bitterness. Really brings out the moisture in the corn. See how it's not sizzling as much? Finally, we got some Dijon mustard. Use a nice little piece of that. We'll sprinkle that around the whole thing. Enough in there. Again, do not be shameful. That's why they sell them in big jars, folks. Finally, some fresh parsley. Put that in there, right across the top. Nicely done. Last but not least, as I finish everything with, extra virgin olive oil. It wouldn't be mine if it didn't have olive oil in it. And finally, once again, splash the balsamic for good luck. Let's get this all squeezed up. It's got a nice little juice in there. Nice flavor. This will all evaporate, get soaked up by the corn. All those flavors, once we lit it, let it cook itself out. Lower the heat on it. There you go. That's it, fellow cooks. It's ready to go. Lower the heat. Put a lid. Let's get ready to make some lamb. Okay, folks, so now like I promised you, coleslaw with tzatziki sauce. Tzatziki sauce, you think, oh, gyro, Greek, it's hard. It's not. It's real easy. Watch this. Voila. No, I'm joking. So, we have 32 ounces right here of yogurt. We have a garlic press here. For those of you who do not understand this, you put garlic in here. And it presses it out. And you just get the flavor. See? Nicely done. Okay. Now we will do the lemon trick that we've been doing all day. Once again, half of a lemon. Get that pit out of there. Nothing is perfect. Another half a lemon. Oh, look, another pit. We'll get that. There it goes. You're my witnesses, folks. We're going to get some dill. Fresh dill. Put a little more fresh garlic in there. See how it slices it up? That'll go in there nicely. There we go. Right out the bottom, folks. See? Nice and diced. So we put some salt in there. We're going to put some diced, pureed cucumber. That's going to give it its flavor. Like I said, some salt. A little bit of olive oil. That's about right. And that's it, folks. Now we're going to mix it up. Look at that. You never know. It didn't come from the restaurant. See the consistency there? Thick, just like tzatziki sauce. You get it on a gyro, whatever you want to call it, folks. Here is our tzatziki sauce. Now, for the coleslaw piece. Now for the money shot, folks. Here's the coleslaw, right? You got your shredded cabbage. I know I'm cheating. I bought it pre-mixed already. Just throw it in there. Start mixing it around. get it in. And this is going to go inside of our gyros. We're going to put this on the bottom in the pita, then some lamb, a little bit more on top, with some fresh mint, some crumbled feta cheese, and finally a splash of chipotle mayonnaise. That's our plan, folks. Staying with me so far, cooks? Look at this, huh? Tzatziki flavored coleslaw for a Greek gyro made by an Italian on the internet. Folks, that ain't nice. I don't know what is. Stay tuned. The lamb is coming up. All right, I know. I've been promising you the lamb. I know. One other thing, though. The chipotle mayo. Here's the trick. We're going to use sour cream instead of mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is boring. Everybody uses mayonnaise. First things first. A couple cloves of garlic. Going to mince them up. I know, it's been a while since you've seen these knife skills, folks, right? I didn't want to keep that away from your fellow cooks. Again, something else I worked on this whole off season. That and my tan, of course. See how that worked out, right? Okay, let's get this here. Put that in here with the sour cream. Very nice. Second, 1 chipotle pepper. Dice it up. Your little schmear. Mince it up. Throw it in there. Folks, the other thing I don't tell you enough about, please clean your cutting boards constantly. Clean them after every use. I do it. You don't see it, but I do clean them. A little sriracha. Finally, we're going to use some of our famous lime. We're going to grate some again. Remember what I told you. Anything Spanish or spicy, you want to put lime instead of lemon. Gives us a different angle on the citrus. You want to put that zest in there too. It's the same flavor, actually more intense. Nowhere near as much liquid, because the liquid tends to ruin it sometimes. Let's cut that twice. Let's get my favorite toy today. Start with a half a lime. Lime is very strong. I'm using a fork because I know we have the chipotle pepper in there. It's just a little bit thick. I don't want to use the whisk yet. I'm going to mash it up a little bit, you see? A little more sriracha in there. That looks good. A little salt. A little paprika. Get it mixed in. Everything seems to be broken up. Now we can break out the whisk. See, bring it all together with the coloring. There we go. Folks, cooks, here's your chipotle mayo. Lamb is next. As I promised, cooks, here's our finished product, the corn salsa. Look at that. Corn, bacon, red onion, honey, balsamic vinegar, all the great flavors. If you could smell this now, you'd be amazed. So, that's our side dish. Okay, folks, I promised you lamb. I'm finally here with the lamb. Here we go. Cast iron skillet, very hot. Been heating up for about 10 minutes now. Watch. Look at that. Told you I learned a few new tricks out there. This off season was very beneficial. See how the garlic, like I told you, it would break up itself? See? The lemon does that, folks. Lemon does that. So the beauty of cast iron is it cooks evenly. It should take about maybe 10 to 12 minutes. Flip it as you need. All this lamb will be done. We have our assembly line over there. We'll put it together. Start plating it. We're almost there. And I'm telling you right now, I'm thirsty and I'm hungry. So while you're watching this, I'm going to partake in one of my sponsors, 2015 Merlots. Be right back. All right, cooks, here's the thing with the lamb. What we did was we started with some water in there, right, from the moisture from the marinade, and we let that go out. I covered it, and we let the water get hot and cook the inside of the lamb. At this point right now, it's just about getting a nice caramelization on it. You can hear it sizzling. Again, cast iron pans. Oh, and by the way, if I didn't tell you husbands out there what the best thing about cast iron pans is, it specifically tells you on the label, do not use soap when you clean it. Let it cool completely. Warm water, and just wipe it down. Let me tell you something. As a husband, that's a gold mine. That, my friends, is the epitome of nice. 6 more minutes. Okay, I promised you this, and I got it for you. Let's do the assembly line, folks. Oh, by the way, look at the way they're sitting up. How cool is that? I won't tell you where I got them. You can check Amazon. Hint, hint. Let's get a lamb in there. Get it on 2 sides. Very nice. A nice little layer in there. You could start with the coleslaw if you want. The only problem I have with that is that when you do that, it kind of sobbers up the bottom. It gets a little soggy. You want to kind of stay away from that. Got a little coleslaw in here. Okay. You see, I already took the liberty of putting our corn salsa in there. Which, by the way, if you need to see it, it's right here and it looks amazing. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Now, what's next? Let's get a little tzatziki in here. I use a fork just to drizzle it across. That's my preference. Left and right. Put a little crumpled up feta cheese. Again, you could do this in any type of layers you want. You could put the feta cheese right on the meat when it's hot. Give it a little meltdown. Do whatever you want. This is my preference. I like the way it looks. Finally, chipotle mayo, which you don't want to know how I squeezed it into this bottle. And it's not cooperating today. It's supposed to look like a football, but such is life, folks. Nothing in life is perfect. Finally, a couple of sprigs of mint, fresh mint. There you have it. Cooks, you have a lamb gyro, Americanized, I must say. Feta cheese, tzatziki coleslaw, fresh lamb, marinated in a honey vinaigrette with corn salsa, fresh lime for a drizzle just on top. To give it your final touch, put it on the side. Here's your meal, folks. It does not get any better than this. This, my friends, is what Nice is all about. Well, that's our second episode of season 3. There's your Americanized gyro. It's all yours. It'll be posted in a couple of minutes. Please, again, remember, bluecollarcooking@yahoo.com. Thank you, my sponsors, Second to None Entertainment, Lo Bianco Vineyards, and Mom. Thank you. Love you. See ya, and have a safe and happy 4th of July.